Try and picture the scenario. You're sitting in a neuroscience laboratory. Electrodes are gently placed on your scalp as researchers monitor your brain activity in real time. Now, just 6 months ago, you lost your job, you ended a long-term relationship, and you felt completely hopeless about your future. But something remarkable shows up on the brain scans today. The same neural networks that were dim and sluggish half a year ago are now firing with vibrant activity. Your prefrontal cortex glows with engagement. Your limbic system hums with balanced energy, and neurotransmitters flow through your synapses like a perfectly conducted orchestra. What happened to you? You didn't take any medication. You didn't undergo surgery. Instead, you learned something extraordinary. Your brain could literally manufacture hope, chemically and structurally rewiring itself for optimism and resilience. This isn't science fiction. This is just cutting-edge neuroscience, revealing that hope isn't just a feeling or a mindset. It's a biological process we can consciously influence and strengthen. For decades, scientists have believed the adult brain was fixed, unchangeable after adolescence. We thought people were simply born optimistic or pessimistic, resilient or fragile. But revolutionary discoveries in neuroplasticity have shattered this limiting belief. Your brain right now, as you're listening to this, is constantly rewiring itself based on your thoughts, experiences, and practices. Every hopeful thought you think, every act of gratitude you express, and every moment you visualize a positive future, you're literally sculpting new neural pathways that make optimism easier and more natural. Think of your brain as having an internal pharmacy, capable of producing its own antidepressants, its own pain relievers, and motivation enhancers. When you understand how to activate this natural pharmacy, you gain the power to transform not just your emotional state, but your entire life experience. The same brain chemicals that create feelings of joy, connection, and purpose can be consciously cultivated through specific practices backed by rigorous scientific research. Now, this is where it gets even more fascinating. The neuroscience of hope reveals something profound about human potential. When we manufacture hope in our brains, we're not just feeling better, we're actually becoming more capable of creating positive change in our lives and the world around us. So hopeful brains are more creative, more resilient to stress, but better at solving problems and more skilled at building meaningful relationships. This means that cultivating hope isn't selfish or naive. It's one of the most practical and generous things that you can do. When your brain is optimized for hope and resilience, you show up differently in your relationships, at work, and then in your community. You become a source of inspiration and positive change, helping others access their own inner resources for transformation. The journey we're about to take together is just bridging that gap between cutting-edge neuroscience and practical wisdom. All I want to do is get you to explore how your brain creates hope at the molecular level, and then uncover the specific practices that optimize your neurochemistry for resilience, and discover how to align your brain's natural capacity for manifestation with your deepest values and your highest aspirations. Your brain is already equipped with everything you need to manufacture hope, overcome any challenges and create a life of meaning and joy. You just need to learn how to activate these remarkable systems that evolution has gifted to every single one of us. And the secret behind optimistic resilience isn't a mystery, it's just a science. And it's just waiting for you to discover it. Now, imagine your brain as a grand concert hall, and inside this magnificent space, there's a 4-piece chemical orchestra, and it's performing the most important composition of your life. The Symphony of Hope, let's call it that. Each musician in this neurochemical ensemble plays a unique role, and when they work together in harmony, they create the biological foundation for optimism, resilience, and the unshakable belief that better days are ahead. Now let's meet the first violinist of this orchestra, dopamine. Now picture dopamine as the musician who plays the melody of anticipation and excitement. So when dopamine flows through your neural pathways, it's like hearing the opening notes of your favorite song. You get that surge of energy that makes you want to lean forward and pay attention. This remarkable molecule doesn't just make you feel good about what's happening right now. It makes you excited about what's possible in the future. So when you set a goal and feel that spark of motivation, that's dopamine tuning its strings and preparing to play. But dopamine is clever. It doesn't just reward you when you achieve something. It rewards you for believing achievement is possible. So every time you visualize success, plan your next step, or imagine a positive outcome, dopamine releases just enough chemical encouragement to keep you moving forward. It's like having a personal cheerleader inside your brain constantly whispering, yes, you can do this, and it's going to feel amazing when you do. So now listen as the second instrument joins the melody. Serotonin enters like a warm, steady cello, providing the deep, grounding bass notes of confidence and well-being. So while dopamine gets you excited about the future, serotonin makes you feel fundamentally okay about who you are right now. It's the neurochemical equivalent of a warm hug, flooding your system with a sense of belonging and self-worth. Now, when serotonin levels are balanced, you walk through the world with a quiet confidence. You don't need external validation to feel worthy, because your brain is literally bathing itself in chemicals that say you matter, you belong, and you have something valuable to contribute. This is why people with healthy serotonin levels bounce back from criticism more easily and maintain hope even when facing challenges. Their internal chemical environment is continuously reinforcing their fundamental okayness. The third musician in our Hope Orchestra is oxytocin, and it plays like a violin that creates the most beautiful harmonies of connection and trust. Oxytocin is often called the love hormone, but it's more accurate to think of it as the we're in this together molecule. When oxytocin releases in your brain, it dissolves the illusion of separation and reminds you that you're part of something larger than yourself. This chemical creates the bridge between personal hope and collective resilience. When you hug someone you care about, you share a really meaningful conversation, or feel genuinely seen and understood, oxytocin floods your system like applause fills a concert hall. It tells your brain, you're not alone in this. There are people who care about you, and together you can handle whatever comes at you. This is why hope is so much easier to maintain when we feel connected to others. Our brains are literally designed to find strength in community. Finally, the fourth member of our chemical quartet, endorphins. These enter like powerful brass instruments. They provide the triumphant flourishes that help you push through pain and difficulty. Endorphins are your brain's natural painkillers and mood elevators, but they're also the chemicals of perseverance. So when life gets challenging, endorphins are what allow you to keep going despite the discomfort. If you think of a runner who hits their stride and suddenly feels like they could run forever, that's endorphins transforming struggle into strength, pain into power. In the context of hope, endorphins are what help you maintain optimism even when the path is difficult. They're the chemical reminder that you're stronger than you think and more resilient than you know. But here's where the magic really happens. These 4 neurochemicals don't just work independently. They create complex harmonies together. When you're in a state of hope, all 4 of these are playing in a beautiful coordination. The prefrontal cortex, the brain's conductor, orchestrates this chemical symphony. It ensures that each molecule releases at just the right moment to create the most uplifting and empowering experience possible. Your limbic system, the emotional processing center of your brain, acts like the acoustics of the concert hall, amplifying and enriching these chemical messages until they fill your entire being with possibility. This is why hope feels so full-bodied when it's genuine. It's not just a thought or a feeling. It's a complete neurochemical experience that engages your entire nervous system. And the most remarkable part, you can learn to conduct this orchestra yourself through specific practices and conscious choices. You can cue each of these chemical musicians to play their parts more frequently and more beautifully. Your brain wants to create hope. You just need to learn the music. I'm going to give you another scenario. Imagine for a moment you've got 2 different people trying to manifest their dreams. The first person sits quietly each morning, visualizing a luxury car, while their brain chemistry tells a completely different story. Their cortisol levels are elevated from financial stress, and then their dopamine is depleted from chasing external validation. Their nervous system is stuck in survival mode. So they're trying to create abundance from a neurochemical state of scarcity. And then the second person, they wake up each morning and their brain is flooded with serotonin from genuine gratitude. Their dopamine is naturally elevated from pursuing meaningful goals aligned with their values, and their oxytocin levels are high from the deep sense of purpose they feel in serving others. So when this person visualizes their dreams, every cell in their body is chemically aligned with the frequency of what they're trying to create. So obviously, which person do you think is more likely to manifest their desires? Now, the answer lies not in the strength of their visualization or the power of their intention alone. It's in the neurochemical coherence between what they want and who they're being at the biological level. This is the secret that transforms manifestation from wishful thinking into a scientifically grounded practice. When your brain chemistry is aligned with your authentic values and genuine desires, you're not just hoping for change, you're becoming the change at the cellular level. Your nervous system starts broadcasting the same frequency as your dreams, and life begins responding to this new neurochemical signature. So if we explore what that looks like in practice, traditional approaches to manifestation often focus solely on material outcomes, triggering the dopamine system to chase external rewards. While this can create temporary motivation, it often leads to what neuroscientists call hedonic adaptation. You achieve the goal, you get a brief chemical high, then quickly return to a baseline. You're needing bigger and bigger achievements to feel satisfied. This is your brain chemistry telling you that you're focused on the wrong targets. True manifestation through aligned neurochemistry works differently. Instead of starting with what you want to have, you begin with who you want to become. This activates your brain's intrinsic reward systems, particularly the circuits that release serotonin when you're living in alignment with your authentic self. When you're operating from this neurochemical foundation, your brain naturally generates the sustained motivation and creative insight needed to manifest outcomes that truly fulfill you. Picture your brain as having two different navigation systems. The first is like a GPS focused only on destinations. So it's constantly recalculating routes and creating stress when obstacles appear. This is the dopamine driven system that's always focused on the next achievement, the next acquisition, the next external validation. The second navigation system is more like a compass that always points towards your true north, your authentic values and purpose. This system generates serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins as you move in the right direction, regardless of how quickly you reach specific destinations. When you manifest from the compass rather than the GPS, something magical happens in your brain chemistry. The coherence between your heart and brain increases. It creates what researchers call a state of psychophysiological coherence. In this state, your heart rate variability becomes smooth and rhythmic. Your nervous system shifts into optimal function, and then your brain waves synchronize in patterns associated with enhanced intuition and creativity. This coherent state is like upgrading the operating system of your entire being. Your decision making becomes more aligned with your authentic self. You naturally attract opportunities that resonate with your values, and you develop what seems like an uncanny ability to be in the right place at the right time. It's your nervous system functioning at its highest level of integration. The vagus nerve, your body's longest cranial nerve, plays a crucial role in this process. When you're living in alignment with your values and pursuing goals that genuinely matter to you, your vagus nerve sends signals throughout your body that create a state of calm alertness. This activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is essential for healing, regeneration, and what we might call manifestation chemistry. In this state, your brain produces more BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which literally grows new neural connections. Your immune system functions optimally. Your digestive system efficiently processes nutrients, and your entire physiology becomes a fertile ground for creating positive change. This is why people who manifest from alignment often report that they don't only achieve their goals, but they also experience improved health, better relationships, and a deep sense of fulfillment along the way. So if we talk about practical application, every morning, instead of jumping straight into your visualization, you begin by connecting with your authentic values. Maybe ask yourself, how do I want to show up in the world today? What kind of person do I want to be? As you connect with these deeper intentions, you'll actually trigger the release of serotonin and oxytocin, creating the optimal neurochemical foundation for manifestation. Now, when you do visualize your goals, you don't just need to see the external outcomes. You feel into the person you'll need to become to achieve them. You imagine how it will feel to embody the qualities of leadership, creativity, compassion, or courage that your goals require. This creates what neuroscientists call embodied cognition, It's where your brain rehearses not just having something, like being someone. Throughout the day, practice what researchers call values-based decision making. When faced with choices, instead of asking, what will get me what I want fastest, you ask, what choice aligns with who I'm becoming? This consistent alignment between your decisions and your authentic self creates a powerful neurochemical feedback loop that accelerates manifestation in ways that feel both natural and sustainable. The beautiful truth is that when you manifest from aligned neurochemistry, you're not just creating external outcomes, you're evolving at the most fundamental level. Your brain is literally rewiring itself to embody the qualities you're seeking to manifest, making success not just possible, but inevitable.